Welcome to Touch Base Tuesdays, where we touch base on Tuesdays. There are a lot of reasons why I got into activism and organizing, and why, for me, my art and my work as an educator and facilitator are inherently intertwined and intrinsically connected to activism and social justice. I want to share two. One, when I was 7.5 years old, in November 1990, my father took me to see a screening in downtown Chicago of a brand new documentary called Berkeley in the 60s. The film chronicles the origins of the free speech movement at the University of California, Berkeley, in the early 60s, and the way students became activated to speak truth to power, and the massive amount of student arrests that came in the aftermath, how that then led to Berkeley being a hotbed for anti-war protests, and how students began to organize and build with folks in the surrounding communities in Oakland, in San Francisco, the Black Panther Party, on and on into the many ways folks were organizing at that time in that area. And so at 7.5, this was what I came to understand, which was that protest was patriotism, and that protest specifically around speaking truth to power with regards to justice and equity and liberation for all was patriotism. Not protest like, banning books because they make space for equity, or banning trans healthcare because one is transphobic, but protest against authoritarianism, protest against inequity, protest for justice and equity and liberation for all. And I carried that with me, and part of what I perhaps problematically fantasized about when I too one day would go to college was wanting to be part of that legacy. A student has many jobs. Many students have full-time, part-time, work-study jobs. But the job of a student specifically, just the student part, is to learn. And the job of that learning is imbued with, hopefully, in my humble opinion, learning and gaining knowledge and being a student is to help make the world a better place. And so gaining a critical lens on where injustice exists and coming together to understand and think about and dream of better ways to build an equitable and just society, to me, I believe that is part of a student's job. 2, Passover. For me, I could make 50 videos on why my Jewish identity feels intrinsically connected to my activism. Passover specifically, which we are currently now in, to me is like social justice 101. It is a holiday where we explore and commemorate and remember our history and experiences of oppression, us as Jews, us as human beings, and also make a commitment to liberation and justice for all. At the end of the Passover Seder, we say, Lishana Haba'a Yerushalayim, which roughly translates to next year in Jerusalem. When I was 16 years old, my family and I were in Israel for Passover. And I remember at the end of the Seder being sort of wowed that, okay, we're gonna say next year in Jerusalem, but I'm here. So where is there to go? And I've been thinking about this lately because there is a lot of debate online, in the group chat, I'm sure IRL too, about whether or not Passover is inherently Zionist, and or if it's possible to have an anti-Zionist Seder. And I've been thinking about that framing at the end. Lishana Haba'a Beyerushalayim. I could make another 50 videos around the etymology of Jerusalem as a place. But I'm thinking about Jerusalem as an idea. And its etymology, the shalom, salam of Jerusalem. There's also a shalem to the Canaanite religion, the god Shalem. That's, again, a whole other etymology. But if we look at the word, it's connected to shalom in Hebrew, peace, and salam in Arabic, peace. And so to me, this notion of Lishana Haba'ah Be'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem, is not necessarily literal. To me, it is the place of peace. Next year, may we be in a place of peace. May we dwell in peace, the whole world. May we render Pesach like essentially unnecessary, right? Like may we build a world where liberation is so realized that we dwell in a place of peace. Those are two of the many things that keep me engaged in justice and equity and liberation for all. For those out there praying with their feet, I see you. And I see that you are doing it so intentionally, in conversation with a legacy of learning to build and dream and strategize a better world. And for those honoring Passover, Pesach, the mouth speaks, speaking truth to power. Hag, Pesach, Sameach to you all. Dibarti. Take care.